In the last episode, we saw them starting to backfill around the foundation. Now we're starting to see them getting ready to pour the basement floor. There's below ground plumbing. That's the mechanical room in the back corner of the basement. Nice clean gravel so that no water can percolate up under the slab. Now you see they're starting to put down foam insulation on top of the gravel. The plumbing goes inside the gravel and the foam, and then you'll see later on they put plastic on top of the foam and then pour the concrete. Finishing up on the backfilling or partial backfilling around the cistern and around the front of the house. And you'll see they've got it all nice and tidy now at the back there as well, so it's a lot easier to get around. There you can sort of see the waterproofing on top of the foam. And if you can't really tell, but there's also a sheet of clear plastic on top of the foam as well, so that's a water barrier. So we've got gravel underneath the foam, and then plastic on top of the foam, and then concrete slab. So hopefully this basement will be warm and dry. Pump truck ready to go. Another 14 cubic meters of concrete. That little gravel section is inside our storage shed, which is under the porch. There you can sort of see the plastic where they've taped all the seams on the plastic. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning on April 24th, 2020. Here you see them pouring the concrete in the piers that will support the posts on the front of the porch. Those will basically get buried, all but the top bit will be buried. Obviously maintaining the mandated 2 meters of separation between themselves as part of the virus pandemic. I learned a lot talking to these guys. I knew some of it, but not all of it. Well, step 1, slop the concrete in place with the pump truck. Step 2, screed it to the level and elevation that you want. Step 3, float it with that big long float. This is just a stairway coming off the back patio area, and there'll be a path along the side of the house. And just finishing up in the corner of Lauren's bedroom. Also learned talking to these guys today that Jesse, the young guy with the yellow gloves and the blue ball cap on, is a neighbor, lives just down the street. So there it is, screeded and roughly troweled, waiting for it to harden a bit so that they can put the power trowel on top of it. Now he's got different blades on the power trowel, and he's starting to give it a finer, smoother finish. Just a bit of a look at the backfilling and how the grading is turning out along the side. So there'll be a path along the wall there that'll end on that landing, and then there'll be one step down onto the patio to the back door of the house. Really pleased with how this turned out. That's the property line on stake. And then you see the space that we'll have along the back. All of this area that you see now will be patio. Some of this and behind here will be patio as well. The piers are for the deck, so that'll be a brick patio underneath there. And here's the raised aggregate finish on that step. This is the finish that we're going to put on all of our sidewalks and driveway and things like that. Now we're into the garage. So this is a neat system. Lots of questions have come up about this. So this is the pan that is going to form the ceiling of the cistern and the floor of the garage. I'll just let you have a look, and here's the guys starting to put the pan sections together. So we will pour concrete on top of this, and these grooves will form deep notches or deep sections in the concrete, which sort of act like concrete floor joists. So there'll be between 2 and 5 inches of concrete on top of the high parts, the ribbed parts of those pans, and then of course the deep sections are another 10 inches deep. But it saves you a lot of weight and volume of concrete and still gives you the stiffness that you need to support the floor. And here's the guys just putting a bit of timber and joy bracing underneath it for when they pour the concrete, likely next week, I think. So they're in the cistern. That's it for this one. Bye.